Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the iceHQ Ice Rink here in Reservoir, Melbourne, Australia, on Wurundjeri Woiwurrung traditional land for the CCM National Women's Tournament 2023. It is Saturday evening here in Melbourne. Our West Australian friends, it's 3 hours earlier for you. It's only 4 o'clock in the afternoon for us. It's 7 p.m. and it's been a very, very long 2 days for these teams. They've been playing now for just over 24 hours in total, and this is their 4th game for both of the teams. No, I tell a lie. I think it might actually be their 5th game. Yeah, it's the 5th game for these two teams. Oh, golly, I don't know how they can move. We've just been standing here in the commentary box, and I can tell you we're pretty tired, so they must be absolutely gassed. Anyway, this game matters for the Quokkas. They are currently sitting on 4 points, tied with the Adelaide Gems. If they can win this one, then they give themselves a chance to finish either second or third, which is where they'd like to be to play the Reds for the semi-final tomorrow. They'd probably prefer not to play the Stingrays again. Stingrays have been unbeatable so far. The Adelaide Gems too with a chance to do that. So if the Quokkas can win this one on points, that will probably move them far enough clear that they'd be safe from the Gems regardless of the Gems result in the next game. So the Quokkas want to win this. They've got a pretty good chance. The Galahs have lost all 4 of their games so far, and one of the major reasons for that, certainly not a lack of skill or attacking ability, but they have, throughout their 4 games so far, accumulated 40 minutes of penalties. That's an average of 10 minutes in the penalty box per game. What do you think of that, Brett?
Yeah, it's not how you're going to win.
It's not how you're going to win games when you're spending so much time. In one game, they gave away 18 minutes in the penalty box. Now, some of them are trips, and trips are one of those things that just happen. But a lot of it is frankly, it's just silly play and avoidable penalties, which is it's just, I don't know why it's happening to this particular team, but they've spent a lot of time in the box. And they're just giving away games like that. They've lost 4-1 against the Reds, 3-1 against the Central Coast, 4-3 against the Furies, and that's one of the games where they did spend an awful lot of time in the box, and then they lost 1-0 to Adelaide, where they also gave away 10 minutes in the penalty box for that one as well. It's very difficult to be on the kill all the time and try and win games, but they are a physical team, and you could argue that they take the physicality a little bit over the top, and there'd be certainly a case to make that, and the referees have made that case. But we will see how this one pans out. They'd love to beat West Australia, but West Australia has come all the way over from Perth, kind of obviously. My apologies for pointing out the blinding obvious, but they are. We're getting a bit tired here in the commentary room as well, I can tell you. But the West Australians in the black with the yellow and white, it is a magnificent looking kit. It's simple and classic, and it works well with a funny looking quokka on the front, but that's all good. And the I don't know if it's, I suspect the quokka may have had a few emus, and I don't recur, not the animal, but the bitter. I lived in Perth for a while. I know the beer. And the Melbourne Flaming Galahs in the white this time with pink and orange stripes on the elbows. If they can stay out of the box, they give themselves a chance. But if they spend too much time being penalised, it's not going to happen. Armstrong Frey, the chief referee, he won't stand for any nonsense. And so we'll see how this goes. We're about to get underway now in game 13.
Galahs winning the face-off, and Wilkinson goes for the puck, but it's taken away quite quickly by Dravo. Dravo goes through an early shot on the net, but it's tapped away by Slade Baker. Galahs with the puck, and Poynton's trying to tip it out of the zone. Poynton carrying it out, and just gets it over the blue line, so the Quokkas have to cross over. McNabb going for the puck, just steals it away there from McPherson. And Galahs just managed to gain possession again, crossing over into the neutral zone. Wilkinson contesting for the puck, but is taken back by Clark. And the puck is tipped away by Slade Baker from the net and into the corner, back behind the net. We've got Ryland picking it up the boards and Poynton tipping it out. Richards for the Quokkas. And it's just having a little bit of play around in the neutral zone. Richards taps it into the neutral, and it's picked up by Antill. Antill passes it over to McNabb, who's racing to catch that pass. It just goes into the corner up the back behind the net.
Quokkas using that good opportunity for a change. They've played very smart hockey, the Ice Quokkas. They've usually prioritised getting a change in preference to participating in a rush, which is usually the right option, and they've also done a good job of just clearing the puck out of the zone when necessary. When they're under pressure, putting the puck in deep and turning around the other team, and they continue to do that today. So their D just change out.
Clark goes for a shot on the net, a little bit low and wide. But the Quokkas still gain possession. Clark again with it. Taps it off the stick of, I think that was Tess Wilkinson, was it?
Might well have been. It certainly was a good option there, passing Nicole Clark to sitting high slot, mostly unmarked. The Flaming Galahs not picking up on that and giving her a lot of room. A couple of times there's been a pass across to that. They'll need to shut that down if they're to give themselves a chance, because Clark will get onto it eventually with a decent shot, and it will sneak past Slade Baker if they're not careful. Slade Baker in the net for the Flaming Galahs. He's had a pretty good tournament, but has been let down a lot by having to just kill penalty after penalty. Zara Dennis now for the Flaming Galahs wins the race to the puck. She's looking for someone in the slot to pass to.
And they've got Bibi right there.
Quokkas back in numbers.
Bibi staying open.
Dennis is one of the most attacking players that the Galahs have. She hasn't been able to convert it very much. She hasn't had an awful lot of ice time, but we know she can be effective when she does get a chance. She has played national level as an inliner in the United Kingdom in a past life. And so too Poppy Kelly, when she gets a chance to and gets some room. Hasn't been quite as dominant as they would have expected, but she can be very effective at times.
Drivo trying a shot on net there. Tapped away. But the Quokkas keep it in the zone with Leiber. Fumbling a little bit. Contested, good pressure there from the Galahs. But Leiber maintains the puck and tries to get it back into the neutral zone. Tipped in. They're going for a line change here. And Cameron's still following the puck, but it's carried by Wishart. That's for the Galahs. Galahs tip it over, but it's picked up by Quokkas. Galahs carrying it through the neutral zone. We've got, that's Poynton carrying it through. Tries to go for a pass, but can't quite find the connection as Smythe picks it up.
And you can see the Quokkas back checking in numbers, not giving the Galahs enough room to really consolidate on that time. They had a little bit of a break, but there was such an effective back check. There was all 5 of the Quokkas racing back to shut down any room, just denying the Galahs the opportunity. At the moment, we've got about 5 minutes into the game.
And Cameron just tried for a measured goal there, but it wasn't allowed by Slade Baker. Galahs still away from the face-off. Dolan with the puck. And it's just lying loose now, going towards the Galahs zone.
Goalie clears that one out. That's Eleanor Watson just waiting a little bit for it. A little bit of indecision there. Might have been an idea for her to move forwards a bit, but she chose to wait for the puck to come to her.
She did. And Scene has just passed it right to the stick of Sayers, gone for a shot on the goal, but it gets covered up by Slade Baker.
It was a good shot right across, but a pad save by Slade Baker, just keeping that one out.
Yeah, that was a good pairing up as well, running to try and get a good scoring opportunity.
We'll see how the Galahs set up their defensive face-off here.
And the Galahs win the face-off. Clarkson with the puck, not quite sure where to put it. There's a few Quokkas in way, and Clark from the Quokkas picks it up. Back to Clarkson and just shifles it out of the zone. Quokkas racing
That
for
will
it.
go for an icing. So the Galahs can't get the change that they would like. The puck goes all the way back for another opportunity for the Quokkas to see if they can tickle the twine and bury the puck. 6 shots at the moment. The shot differential, the Quokkas with 6 and the Galahs with 1 shot on the net so far, with just over 9 minutes to go in the first.
Galahs, Quokkas actually getting possession over that face-off, but they can't quite keep it in the zone and they had to go into the neutral. But Galahs managed to pick it up. And a bit of contest there by McNabb. Galahs, a little bit of a pile up here. Leiber taking it away from the net. And just finding a loose puck there, the Galahs. And they try to just keep it in.
We have a whistle. And it will be a Quokka in the box, I think. Looking a little bit confused. Didn't exactly see what happened there, but we'll find out in just a second. And we have a slash
call
on Madeline Antil, who will sit it out for 2, and we'll get to see the Quokkas penalty kill. The power play line for the Flaming Galahs, Dennis and Poynton, looking to do the damage.
Yep, and we've got Ryland with possession, but she just tips it into the corner and it's picked up by a Quokka, who tips it right back to her. Ryland goes in for the shot.
Oh, that puck nearly had eyes. It got past, just deflected by Richards.
Yeah, that puck was flying right into it.
Dennis had a great opportunity there, but unfortunately for her, Watson got a pad down in the way. It's a really good scoring opportunity for Dennis, but couldn't finish it off.
Poynton goes for a shot there. Didn't quite get it, but gets the rebound off the boards. Ryland back to Poynton. Poynton right into the high slot and just gets missed by Dennis, but the Galahs maintain possession in their zone. A little bit of kerfuffle around the back of the net there.
The Quokkas have been unable to clear the puck out of the zone so far. Just losing the footing there, and they want to get the puck out of the zone, put it down the other end. They've done that so well throughout the tournament on the PK, but haven't been able to do it yet in this particular one. The Galahs doing a good job of just putting a lot of forechecking pressure on them and keeping possession. But now they get a chance to clear the puck out, and they do, and that turns the Galahs around, which is what the West Australian desperately needed to do.
Ryland challenging at the boards, but the Quokkas maintain possession. Zooks and Ryland having a go at it.
And this time they
by Troon.
Clear the zone. Everyone falls over.
Quokkas taking it out of the zone. Dravo goes for a shot on the net, just to the side, but maintains possession around the back of the net and up over.
And we have 20 seconds to go on the Antil penalty. Quokkas are changing out some of the D.
Quokkas shoot it right up the ice, and this is going to be an icing.
It's going to be an icing on the Galahs, and some extra whistle blowing. Oh, it's just the icing.
Make a point.
Just making a point, absolutely. So referee's pulling the puck back, and that will finish the penalty. On the drop of the puck, Antil will be straight out on the ice. Now it won't create an attacking opportunity because of where she'll come onto the rink. It'll be behind the play.
And Antil makes her way back on and going straight for a line change.
Goes for a change.
Got Sires who's just come on. And Leiber goes for a shot. Sires right in the position. Smythe goes for a shot there.
Slade Baker forced to pounce on that one. It was a good shot into the corner of the net. So the Quokkas are piling on the shots. They're looking pretty good so far. They've had the vast majority of the play. But as we know, Brett, it's not always the... sometimes it's that quick counter-attack that scores the goal and turns the game around. At the moment, the Flaming Galahs under a lot of defensive pressure, but all they need is one quick breakout, and we know they can do it. They've got Poppy Kelly, although I don't see her on the bench at the moment. She might not be playing this game.
Yeah, she had a bit of a fall last game, bit of a strong hit, so...
We know that she's pretty strong, but just not quite able to keep her foot behind the line there. Melissa Bibby puts herself offside, and that will take the wind out of the sails of the Flaming Galahs. Well, out of their wings, you should say, if you want to use the appropriate...
And we do, Carl.
We do want to use the appropriate thing for Galahs have wings, that's correct.
Bibby was the face.
I don't know if you know the recipe for galah, but when you cook them, what you do is you get a cauldron of boiling water with 4 river rocks and 6 galahs, and you boil them for 24 hours and simmer them for a further 48 hours. And then you throw away the galahs and eat the rocks.
I did know that one, Carl, yeah.
It's an oldie but a goodie. In fact, not even that good, but it's an oldie. Beautiful chance there for a score by the Galahs. Sorry, by the Quokkas. But no one knows what Quokkas taste like. They are a protected species.
Yeah, the Galahs aren't quite treating them as protected. Coming in kind of strong on the puck.
Chipping the puck clear of the zone, and it's a foot race back to get it.
quite quick
That
on the
will be an
on the
icing.
checker's Dodd.
That's an icing, so the Galahs dragged back on the ice. Sorry, you can't get a change. They wanted it, but they don't get it. And with 3.5 minutes to go in the first period, we have 8 shots on the net to the Quokkas, to the Flaming Galahs, but no one yet to light up the siren and get the scoreboard ticking over. It has been mostly Quokkas, but they don't want to get complacent here. It's very easy to let someone get behind you. I don't think they will. They're pretty aware of the threat that the Galahs can pose. Just because they haven't won anything doesn't mean they're not capable of it, that's for sure. They've got some pretty handy players who can score goals.
Hudson to Poynton. Straight to the stick.
Not when they're all falling over.
Ooh, and Cameron just takes a little bit of a twizzle there. Dravo with the puck, running it through the neutral zone, but well contested by the Galahs. With Dodd cutting her off.
There's Quokkas everywhere at the moment. They're flooding all over the ice, and everywhere, every time a Galah gets the puck, there's about 3 Quokkas right in the face.
Yeah, you could say it's Quokka block today, Carl.
It is Quokka block. No one's playing Quokka soccer. It's terrible. It has been a long day, hasn't it? There's 3 to go. No, 2 to go after this. It's going to get worse, not better. But Dennis on the ice now for the Galahs, but the puck is just blasted around her. She's still looking for the attacking option that she would so dearly like to get. She did miss a good one earlier, which she may well rue. It was a bit of a sitter. And just a little bit rusty, hasn't played for a while.
Cameron with the puck at the boards, but the Galahs managed to steal it back.
Dennis runs out of options and runs into a wall of yellow, but has another chance now, free on the point. Skates towards
Dennis, followed closely by Hayduck. Tries to find a pass. Passes it very gently over to another Galah. And just dancing it out of the zone, we've got Troon. Oh, and that's very close offside, but she manages to get back over.
Manages to keep control of it. Troon being pressured quite closely by Sayers, giving her no room.
Certainly.
Makes the pass to Wilkinson, who now tries to get past everyone holding the puck out to the side of her, but again runs into a wall of Quokkas.
Over to Dennis. Dennis runs it in. Bit of traffic in front. Can't quite get a hold of it, the Galahs. And it's hit out of the zone by the Quokkas. Followed very closely is Sayers, trying to get control of the puck in her offensive zone for the Quokkas.
We are under a minute to go in the first, and we have a whistle. And it is another penalty on Hayduck this time. So the Quokkas are the ones getting the penalties, which is unusual when you're playing against the Flaming Galahs. It's usually the other way around. But with 30 seconds to go, we may get the first little bit of the power play. It's probably likely that the Quokkas will be starting the second period on the penalty kill, as the Galahs are having a little bit of a conference and forgetting that there's a game of hockey on. And the referee gets sick of it and just drops the puck. If you're going to do that, you're going to lose. Sorry, guys. You do need to pay attention.
I think they just like playing 4-on-5.
Who knows? But wasted opportunity there. With a second to go now, that will finish the period. With some interesting disorganisation there by the Flaming Galahs. Not quite sure what was happening, but they forgot that there was a face-off in a game. Anyway, it happens. Under pressure when you're tired, all sorts of stuff goes on. The Quokkas will be starting the second with 1 minute and 48 seconds to go on a penalty kill. It will be their second for the game. They've had one for slashing on Madeline Antill, and we're not quite sure what that other one was for, but we'll find out very shortly. And 6 shots on the net for the Quokkas. I tell a lie, 9 to the Quokkas for 2 to the Flaming Galahs. And that was Zara Dennis with one of them. Just not quite able to finish it off. She had a great scoring opportunity, but couldn't get it around the excellent goaltending of Eleanor Watson, who did a good job of getting everything in the way and just preventing that from happening. There was a fair bit of wide open net, but Dennis couldn't elevate the puck and get it over the top of them, over the top of her. So we will be starting off on the power play, the penalty kill for the Quokkas, the power play for the Galahs. This time the Galahs will be playing towards the Zamboni end, or the Darabin Creek end, if you like, and the Quokkas will be playing up towards the cafe end. It's starting to get a little bit cooler outside. It's been a hot day here in Melbourne, hot and humid. There's been some pretty decent thunderstorms overhead, a bit humid in here, but the dehumidifier works well, and that's Hayduck, who is sitting 2 for tripping. So just to bring you up to speed on what that penalty was for. 9 shots to 1 as we're about to get underway in the second.
McNabb and Bibby in on the face-off. Won by McNabb, but the Galahs managed to take possession. Galahs in possession. We've got Ryland running it up. And just congested a little bit. Hitting it over near the corner. Trying to find a pass out. McPherson. And the puck makes its way over the other side of the corner. Galahs keep it in.
The Perth players managed to clear the zone. And a bit of a chase back now for the Galahs. And that's Natasha Hudson racing back to get it. But she's being pressed hard on an aggressive forecheck by the Flaming Galahs, keeping the puck in, turning their penalty kill into a sometimes known as a power kill. So they turn into an attacking opportunity. A backhand shot comes across the front of the net. Slade Baker and a short-handed goal. Who doesn't love a shorty?
And Antle lights
I can tell you Heather Hayduck sitting in the penalty box is very pleased about that one. And short-handed goal is the way to reverse that. That's Antle putting the backhander in past Slade Baker, and the Quokkas out to a 1-0 lead with 13.5 minutes to go in the second. They've still got 20 seconds to go on the penalty on Hayduck, but that will be pretty much as soon as the puck is dropped. And this is where the Galahs will need to be careful, because if they're in deep in attack, they may find that Hayduck pops out behind them. Now, she is a D, but you never know what can happen with just 2 seconds to go on the penalty.
Yep, and
Hayduck
she's
out
right
on the ice now.
Captain Hayduck, right back into the play. Galahs go for a shot. Still loose around near the goalie. But it's cleared out into the neutral zone by the Quokkas. Clark tips it back in for the Galahs, and it's back into...
And we have an icing.
Yeah.
It was played from behind the centre line and crossed the line at the other end without anyone touching it. And no Quokkas winning the race. So we will have an icing, and it's dragged back for the Quokkas to have to break it out. But they've been pretty handy at that. Let's see if they can get a winger moving on the burst and getting up past it. But the Quokkas do have Zara Dennis sitting menacingly in the high slot waiting for that puck. If they can get it to her quickly, the Quokkas, she's got a shot from there. And she's not marked up yet. Still got some space, and she gets the shot, but not able to get it in the net.
It was a quick save by Watson.
It was
dropping to the knees.
Good work by Watson, but the Quokkas didn't give enough pressure on Dennis, as Dennis did get the shot, and we're going to have another icing. And the Quokkas can't get the change again, so all 5 of them have to go back. And let's see if they've learnt the lesson. Don't give Zara Dennis that much room, because she will get shots on. She's a little bit rusty, but this time the puck over on the other side. You can see the Flaming Galahs bringing their centre ice D in close.
Galahs with the puck off the face-off.
Dennis
Goes for a
takes the
quick
shot.
And glove save by Watson.
And now the Galahs can get the change they wanted. And you'll see a full line change over. It's no longer the icing. It's now just an ordinary stoppage, so they get the changeover. And the clock is in the favour of the Quokkas. They've got 10 shots on to the 3 at the moment from the Flaming Galahs as the scorekeeper sees it.
Quokkas in possession off the face-off, but hits it straight to a Galah, and they capitalise on this, going for a shot. Doesn't quite make it through the traffic, and the Quokkas take the puck, kicking it back.
Desperate Galah back check there, but Quokkas driving in deep, and that's Ansheen, who's going deep into the corner. And she's got 2 to beat. Comes out the front with the puck, gets a shot away. There's a potential rebound, and there's a goal. And the Quokkas have 2. And that's a swimming Quokka on the ice, Sally. We do like that one. I think. Do you like that one?
Yeah. Sayers goes for a swim.
Okay, might as well go for a swim. It's a long way to swim back across
With the
bight to
humid
Perth.
today, you know.
It is a bit humid, so perhaps going for a bit
good.
of a swim. But that takes the lead out 2-2. You can see it on the replay. There's a nice juicy rebound and just a little bit of a poke there by Chloe Sayers. Manages to put the puck in the net. But good work by Anne Seen in the corner to set that one up. Just persistence, really.
Galahs with the win off the face-off. Quokkas quick to get it, though, back into their offensive zone.
We're
We're
going to get another trip. That was
get a penalty here.
Unfortunately there, another penalty on the Quokkas, and that's Madeline Antle again. She's in for her second, and she will sit for 2 again, just relieving some of the pressure on the Quokkas. The trip is one of those things that can be a little bit hard to avoid at times, but there has been a lot of it in these games. There's the chance for the Quokkas to get themselves back on the board, and they want to do that fairly quickly. They need some momentum. This is their 5th game, and they haven't won one yet, so they'd be pretty keen to have it happen. We know the Quokkas want the win to make sure they get the 2-3 final, not the 1-4 final. But the Galahs would be desperate just for a win to get some pride out of this. They don't want to finish on the bottom of the ladder if they can avoid it. And they would certainly like to take 1 win out of the normal season. The normal tournament, I should say, and the Quokkas dump the puck all the way down to the end, and that counts as a shot. The collie having to deflect that one. If she wasn't there, it would have gone in. So that is a shot.
And the Galahs are back with possession. We've got Ryland running up with the ice. Going for a nice breakaway here.
Nice wall of West Australians there in front of the net.
And they make a score.
Galahs score the power play goal. And that was...
I believe that was Ryland that made that goal.
Yeah, I think you're right. That was Heather Ryland.
Number 14 for the Galahs.
Skating it up all the way, going coast to coast and getting around the back of the penalty kill. And just finding a little bit of extra room and finishing it off and getting the goal. Not quite sure what was happening there with the assist. We'll find out that in a moment. So it may be they've called the goalie for an assist there for the Galahs. We'll find that out in a minute. It's always nice when a goalie gets a point.
Oh, and a bit of a hooking there. Went uncalled.
I think it has been called. Both referees with the arm up on the penalty.
So that will be up against Wilkinson for the Galahs, number 44.
Galahs have
still
pulled the
going
goalie
in for the shot.
because the Flaming Galahs, sorry, the Quokkas have pulled the goalie because the Flaming Galahs, as soon as they touch the puck, the penalty will be blown up. So
yeah,
it's safe, usually safe. You can score an own goal in this situation, and as soon as Poynton touches the puck there for the Galahs, that will undelay the penalty. But yeah, the reason why we saw that interesting gesture there from the referee on the goal was that Heather Ryland was awarded the goal from Bibby, and also Slade Baker in the net getting the assist for the pass out. So Slade Baker gets a point. It's always great when a goalie does that. And so the Flaming Galahs with 1, but now they're on the penalty kill.
and it's actually Troon, number 13, who goes into the sin bin for the Galahs.
Nice shot in there by Antle, who fires it in. The Quokkas setting up the penalty kill, setting up the power play, and they maintain control of it. We'll see what sort of structure. Although it's certainly true to say that the Flaming Galahs have had a lot of practice of killing penalties. They've had 40 minutes of it.
.27 for the Galahs, a little bit slow behind the net, trying to get possession.
Yeah, not prioritising the clear, but now they get the puck down the other end. Dennis is racing down for the Galahs, trying to put some pressure on and turn the penalty kill into a power kill. But she's beaten by the puck, and the puck is usually faster than the player. And now we have a one-on-one for the Galahs. 1-on-2, Seen with the chance, takes the shot, gets a rebound, gets another rebound, and Slade Baker makes it safe in the end.
Just a little bit far out in an awkward position for a shot there.
Worth a try.
Definitely, yeah.
Especially now when the goalies are all so tired. That, we certainly saw in the last game that Naya for the, sorry, not Naya, I should say. Nima for the Furies absolutely exhausted in the end of that previous game. But Slade Baker still with some gas in the tank. But the Galahs on the power play. So they've got that numerical advantage, but they just kind of throw it away there a little bit, lost the opportunity. The Galahs still trying to clear the puck, but they just get the puck out of the zone.
But it's picked up quite quickly by another Quokka.
And that's Radak there taking a little bit of time, but they're playing some tennis.
Elliott picking up the puck in the neutral zone. Not quite sure where to put it. There's no one to really pass to there.
5 minutes to go in the period and only 5 seconds to go on the penalty. We will very shortly be back to 5-on-5 hockey.
Hayduck with the puck for the Galahs. Wilkinson with the puck for the Galahs. Galahs managed to... Oh, they just took it over the blue line. So they're going to all cross back over.
It almost looks like Troon lost track of which direction she was going. And a giveaway gives the puck to the Quokkas, and some more exuberant celebrations from Sayers, who this time does a bit of a twirl.
Yeah, a bit of a ballerina jewellery box one there.
Not a bad Sally. That was an interesting little bit of play there. And Troon jumped straight on the ice, grabbed the puck, and then took off in the wrong direction, and then handed the puck over to the Quokkas.
Yeah, the Quokkas are really capitalising on these lost pucks.
Yep, absolutely. So now a 3-1 lead to the Quokkas with 4 minutes to go in the first. 15 shots to 5.
So 4 minutes to go in the second period here. Galahs with possession. Hit it out of the zone. Slight attempted a block by Zooks there for the Quokkas. Bibi. And it's just up at the boards. A little bit of contest. And Quokkas managed to take it back, and it's taken back again by Ryland for the Galahs, taking it into their offensive zone. Coming up the boards. Some good pressure on her by the Quokkas.
Ryland made some nice space with that stop, but she didn't have any support.
And there's no one to pick up that puck there for the Galahs. Tries to tip it in on her backhand. Contest for the puck here by the Galahs, Ryland.
The Quokkas not quite able to clear the puck there. They had a couple of opportunities when they could have put the puck down the other end, but just squandered the possession. And as a result, they're still under some defensive pressure, and they'd really like to clear the puck out now if they can. They've got the opportunity to rim it hard, but don't take it. And the puck's still bobbling around. Some sustained pressure by the Flaming Galahs. They get a change. And the puck's still in, but now they get a chance to clear the puck out of the zone. And they don't take it. This is unusual for them. They've been pretty smart up till now, but this particular little sequence, they've had a number of opportunities, and finally they clear the puck out of the zone. And then we get a whistle, and it is going to be too many players perhaps, or an off. No, we've got too many players for... Looks like that's the Quokkas with too many on the ice.
Nope, it'll be the Galahs.
No, it's the Galahs. Galahs with too many.
Who's that coming off? Costello.
Yeah, so that's a bench penalty. They just kind of pick whoever's the tiredest and say you can go over 2 minute rest. Sometimes
quite kind.
Well, it depends on the context, but it can have its uses. So this time another power play for the Quokkas.
Quokkas winning the face-off.
Can they get
there.
control?
Clark,
get a
Antle.
shot through traffic. Antle
Clark
with a
racing
good shot.
for the puck. 14 on 14.
The Quokkas now with a chance to set up their power play if they can.
Antle's quite contested there by Ponton. And it just goes to the back of the net. Galahs hit it up the boards.
And Poynton clears it out of the zone for the Flaming Galahs. Let's see if they can get themselves set up and defend.
Yep,
An opportunity now.
Clark running out for the Quokkas.
Clark
Lost
gets
the
held
puck
up.
a little bit there.
He's got passing options.
Finds it again, sends it to McNabb, who sends it right to the net, but it's
Nice.
blocked.
It was a good shot there by McNabb, but created a good rebound and further ongoing opportunities. It's just disorganised the defence.
Hayduck goes for a shot, blocked off the stick of Poynton. And the Quokkas are running for this puck here.
With just under a minute to go in the period and under a minute to go on the penalty. It's Anstine who gets it. Tries to chip past.
Up the boards. Smythe, McNabb gaining possession for the Quokkas. Goes for a shot on net, and it's blocked by Slade Baker.
Nice shot, McNabb. It had a bit on it. Slade Baker got a pad in the way. Hayduck sitting on the point waiting for the puck. Gets it. And we have a whistle.
And Clarkson for the Galahs. Looks like she's going to the penalty box for 2 minutes.
We're getting a clock stop here for reasons unknown. Not sure if there's an injury.
Don't see anyone going off in a scuffle. But we do see the refs having a bit of a contest here.
A little bit of a conference.
Some calls to the
We've
bench.
got 4 seconds to go in the period. 2-minute penalty on Clarkson, I think. Just for a change. And so we've got 3 on 5 for a couple of seconds.
Okay.
That's why they stopped the clock. There was a little bit of doubt as to what's going on now. This is where the Quokkas want to be careful, because almost on the drop of the puck, there's about 4 seconds to go. If they can just flick the puck up the ice, there's going to be a Flaming Galah jumping straight on the drop of the puck, I think. Yep, and that is. But that's the end of the period. And at the end of the second, the Flaming Galahs with 3 goals to, sorry, the Ice Quokkas with 3, the Flaming Galahs 1, and the Quokkas will be starting the third with a power play for 1 minute 56. So just to bring you up to speed, that was a bench penalty initially for too many players on the ice for the Galahs, and then we'll find out exactly what the next penalty's for once our system catches up with us and the referees get it all sorted out. They were just a little bit trying to communicate what was going on.
A little bit of contest by the Galahs here, not sure what the penalty's for.
Possibly seeking some clarification.
Yeah.
But so far through the game, we have had 4 goals scored, 3 to the Quokkas, until Sayers and Sayers with 2. Heather Ryland for the Flaming Galahs got 1, and including an assist by Alex Slade Baker, the goaltender who was involved in the play and got passed up the ice, which set it up. So it's always good for a goalie to get on the scoreboard that way. It's usually their save statistics, but it's pretty nice when they get an assist, and even better when they get a goal. It does happen. It's pretty rare, but it does happen. The last one that I recall was Lennis Allmark from the Boston Bruins doing it last season with a clearance on a empty netter all the way down the other end. And those Bruins, they're all right, but they did lose yesterday. They did lose this morning, unfortunately. If you're a Detroit fan, you would have been pleased. But you can't win them all.
You can't.
Although you can certainly try.
Which they do.
And there's no such thing as a perfect team.
I don't know. Leafs are pretty up there.
Yeah, they'd have to win something. It's been a while, 60-odd years. Almost 70 years.
All right. Rub it in.
Do you know what a cup looks like? Here's a bowl. Maybe a saucepan.
And dropping the puck here. Got Clark winning the face-off for the Quokkas.
The penalty in them was another one for too many players on the ice. So that's kind of interesting that you get 2 of them in very short succession.
Yeah, you don't learn.
So the Quokkas starting with the power play for another minute and a half.
Yep. And they've got some good possession of it in the offensive zone here, but they're just not quite connecting on the passes.
Yeah, they've got themselves set up, and that's the main thing. So they've got an umbrella around the top of the zone, but they lose possession. Poynton coming in to try and make the play.
Ooh, and Antle tries to save that one, but it goes to a Galah.
Because what they want to be very careful of here, the Galahs, is if they overcommit on the forecheck, then they leave themselves very exposed to a big numerical advantage, and this is where it can happen. Quokkas with a shot in from a distance, and they've got numbers. When you do an aggressive forecheck, if you do get caught out, you've got to get back very quickly. You can't afford to coast. You've really got to put your jets on. Otherwise,
Quokkas light the lamp.
Quokkas will light it up, and that's exactly what they've done, and that gives them 4 goals to 1 on the power play. I think that's 2 power play goals to them.
It is, yep. Yeah, the Galahs, as we said, you know, they've got to stay out of the penalty box.
Yeah, Antil, sorry, with a short-handed goal earlier. It wasn't a power play goal, it was a shorty. And now they have a power play goal to go with a short-handed goal. So a dominating performance so far by this West Australian team.
Collecting all the infinity
They
stones
are
of goals.
collecting all the infinity stones, absolutely. I'm not quite sure what an infinity stone is, but there's probably a lot of them.
Oh, come on, Carl.
I don't watch Harry Potter.
Marvel, mate.
Who?
Marvel.
So marvellous. I don't know. That wasn't that Richie Benno. The 12th, 13th man. Anyway, whatever it is, 13 minutes to go in the period, and 18 shots on the net to the to the Quokkas, to 7 from the Galahs, and it's looking pretty grim for the Galahs. They would like to get a win here, but it's looking difficult for them to achieve it. Not impossible, but difficult, as all good things are. If it was easy, it wouldn't be worth doing.
Quokkas with possession, and the Galahs managed to carry it out of the zone. We've got Bibby running it out for the Flaming Galahs.
Nice win on the face-off and carried it all the way.
And a good check by Costello there, keeping it in the zone, but it's just tipped out by Quokkas' Cameron.
Cameron doing a good job. She lost her footing, but she cleared the puck out of the zone, and that's really your priority. If you just keep doing those little smart things, they add up. You get the puck, you play it out of the zone. Don't do anything silly like pass across the net, plus across the centre of the ice like that. But apart from that, most of the time they've done smart things.
Cameron at the boards.
If you are going to do those cross-ice passes, you've got to put some sauce on it. You can't be a dribbler. You've got to be absolutely sure that it's going to get to where you intend it to. So if you're going to do a cross-ice pass, just so that you know, Brett, next time you're playing a game, if you're going to do it, your coach won't yell at you as long as it's the right choice and you put some sauce on the pass.
I'm going to hold that to you, Carl.
If it just kind of, is a little bit of a, just kind of hope that it gets across, that's not such a good option. You really got to put something on it. It's got to be a very crisp pass indeed.
Quokkas have possession after the face-off. Hayduck.
Hayduck pinching in there a fair bit on that face-off. Wants to be a bit careful. If the Galahs get behind her, then it's a problem. It hasn't happened yet, but it's always an exposure point.
She's doing pretty good at hitting it back, but just has to find that connection of another Quokka stick to keep it in.
And pointing, trying to lob it into the bar. That's not where the goal is, Emma.
It is fun, though.
It might be where you want to be, but it's not where the goal is. So a big lob trying to get it over the top of everything, and it hits the net behind the goaltender, and we will have a face-off in the defensive zone for the Galahs with 10 minutes and 50 seconds to play. 4 goals to 1, the 3-goal lead to the Ice Quokkas from Western Australia.
Pointing with a clean win off the face-off to the Galahs. Galahs struggling to keep possession, though, with the Quokkas heavy on the defence there.
Quokkas caught offside there, and maybe not aware of it, but that wasn't offside. The puck had come out, and I don't know necessarily if Lauren Smith had noticed that. But, sorry, not Lauren Smith. I think that might have been, it was Lauren Smith who was caught offside. It was pretty close, but it had come out.
Coming into another face-off here.
If you want to see a textbook example of how to drop a puck, just watch Craig's Armstrong Frey. As a centre, I can tell you, you want a consistent puck drop from your referees, and Armstrong Frey does it absolutely beautifully, to the point where you can predict it and work out exactly when the puck's going to hit the ice.
Gagnon for the Galahs, trying to tip it in, and the Quokkas managed to clear it out. We've got Clark running it up the ice for the Quokkas. Goes for a shot, and just wide.
Slade Baker catches it and flashes the glove as Clark got past Troon around the outside and created a bit of space, but there was enough pressure to force her to take the shot from a bad angle. And as a result, Slade Baker just had to flash the mitt, and there it was.
Some good saves by Slade Baker here. Galahs take possession. Hitting it into the middle, but there's not too many people there to pick it up. Gagnon fighting for it at the boards.
Cross ice, but finds Anthill, who
and
collides.
Anthill goes down and takes down Clark with her.
Everyone fall down.
Watson hitting it over to the boards for the Quokkas. And McNabb taking control of the puck. And just loses it right in front to a Galahs, who hits it out. Richards hits it in for the Quokkas. McNabb.
In case you're wondering about fatigue, if you might not have noticed that because it was a little bit on the side play, but as Ange Lieber jumped onto the ice. He fell over immediately. And that's telling you just how tired everyone is. It's that fine motor control that just goes when you're gassed. And this is their 5th game of the tournament. So they've played 5 hours of hockey in just over 24 hours. It's a hell of an ask. So everyone absolutely exhausted. These are full games too, and they're at a pretty high intensity. It is a tournament, and so everyone is absolutely knackered. They'll be pleased after this one to get a rest.
Cameron gliding the puck right up the middle, hoping that someone can pick it up for the Quokkas, but it's taken by a Galahs. And we've got Costello running it down for the Galahs. Oh, very close there, but the goalie, Watson, just sneaks it off.
Tried to put it in the slot, but Zara Dennis not quite able to get there in time. A good battle there with Lieber.
Bibby goes for a shot, blocked.
Attempt to tip in, beaten by everyone. No one managed to get a handle on it at all. And the Quokkas, a little bit of luck there, but you put yourself in the right place and luck happens and they clear it out.
Cameron running the puck up the ice. Oof.
And we have a penalty.
Have a penalty coming up.
And that will be probably, it's a hooking call.
Galahs are trying to sell this one.
And with 7 minutes to go, the Galahs will have another penalty to kill. The Quokkas have been quite successful on the power play. They did score one earlier.
And it will be the Galahs going into the penalty box.
And that's Melissa Bibby who will be sitting too.
Game's running in favour of the Quokkas here. 4-1 on the board. Galahs with possession behind the net. And then quickly taken by the Quokkas. Kept in. And just a wide shot on the net there by Hayduck. Quokkas maintain possession though, just trying to find somewhere to get a pass to off the boards. Clark, Hayduck. Hayduck looking for, and she goes for a slap shot, and it makes it into the goal.
There might have been a tip in there. I think we had Antle in the slot. May have got a puck on that. May have got some stick on that from the shot in by the point there. We'll see that on the replay. Yeah, it looks like there was a nice redirect.
Redirect
That's
by
Antle. Got a stick on it, and so Antle will get the goal, but from a beautiful shot in from right out in front, and that's the power play for the Quokkas starting to pay dividends, and all the other teams will need to keep an eye on that. Give this team some room and give them penalties, then you're going to find that it happens. So we've had a timeout.
Yeah, the Quokkas are very quick to cash their checks in.
Which, with 5 minutes to go and a 4-minute deficit, not sure what the timeout would actually be for, unless the Quokkas are planning on pulling the goalie and throwing 6 on for 5 minutes. So maybe, who knows? Worth a try. But, just to clarify, the timeouts weren't originally planned as part of the rules for the regular part of the tournament. They were supposed to be for the finals series, which is tomorrow. But there was one given on Friday night's games, and so with that precedent set, the decision was made to allow every team to have a timeout throughout each game. There's supposed to be a 60-second timeout, not a 2-minute timeout, but they do tend to run a little bit long. The Quokkas don't need it, and quite sure why the Galahs called it, as they're on. They're down 4 goals with 5 minutes. It's not impossible to get that.
Very hard though.
Yeah, certainly they'll be up against it.
Yeah. Quokkas.
It's good to see that for the Flaming Galahs, they've given some ice time to Ash Elliott. She can be pretty effective at times. Spent a lot of time sitting on the bench watching the game.
Bit of a spin around by Gagnon there. Contest for the puck. Up to Dolan. Dolan goes for a shot on the net, but it's smothered up by Watson.
You can see the intensity there. Ash Elliott driving into the net and just trying to pick up any rebounds. She's a hungry and a feisty player. I'm surprised she hasn't had a bit more ice time than she has in this game. It's pretty handy and plays a good, solid, desperate game of hockey.
Ryland with the puck up the back of the side of the boards.
You can see how Lieber's just owning that space in front. Hands up for another penalty. We don't know who it's on.
We haven't got the best angle here to see.
There's a big steel girder in the way, so we can't see what's happening. But there is a penalty awarded, and it will be on. I don't even know which team it is yet.
No, they're all just skating away.
No, it's going to be on the Quokkas, and that is Lawrence Smythe going for 2. And it's for a hook. And that will give the Galahs the chance they need. It doesn't stop the clock for them. So every break in play works in favour of the Quokkas.
McPherson with the puck for the Galahs. Tries to shoot it in, but it gets tapped out by Richards.
The other thing it does do, though, I think you find, Brett, is that when a team is on the penalty kill, they tend to be more focused on just shoving the puck down the other end.
Yeah,
and for the point of view of the Quokkas, that's actually not a bad piece of focus.
Yeah.
They don't need to score goals. It's a penalty kill at this point in time. And also remember, they've scored a shorty, so they can score short-handed goals as well. As long as they don't overcommit, it will give them that focus to really focus on defence and just shove the puck down the other end. And it also gives the Galahs often a bit of a false sense of security. But now they're going to go for another penalty, and it's going to be 5-on-3.
That's true, and hits into the boards.
A trip there on Heather Hayduck, and she'll do 2. So for about a minute, the Flaming Galahs will have a 5-on-3, which is of considerable advantage. Now, you can get shorties in that situation. It has been done, but it is extraordinarily rare. And normally in a 5-on-3 situation, you expect a goal, and for good reason. But the timeout being called again, and
yeah, they're really loving that timeout option.
So the Quokkas now organising their defence. So in this situation, normally what you find in terms of defensive structures is the Quokkas will set up 3 players in a triangle in front of the net with the base of the triangle at the goal and up a couple of metres in front of it. And their basic role there is to own that space in front of the net and make sure that the Flaming Galahs can't get any shots from a high scoring area. Watch for Dennis in particular to try and run through that and break up the structure. But the Quokkas will probably, it's the conventional defence in a 5-on-3 situation, set up a triangle defence in that slot area and just own that very high percentage area. It's difficult to defend when you've got a 2-player disadvantage, but that's probably what they'll do. But if they win this face-off, and they don't, this is where they want to set up that triangle if they can. You can see Dennis in the front trying to create havoc, but a save made by Watson, and that runs the clock down. So they're only going to have 40 or so seconds to go on the 5-on-3. And they do desperately, the Quokkas will want to win this face-off. If they can do that and put the puck down the other end, it's a good outcome for them. But Dennis now gets the shot, but it's blocked nicely, and they don't quite clear the puck out of the zone.
It's with another
very
shot.
difficult to defend in this circumstance. Quokkas can flood that area.
Costello shot. Bit
Through
of traffic there.
And they score the goal.
Dennis.
Not sure if it's Dennis who got it, but you can see just how difficult it is to defend in a 5-on-3 situation. All you can do is own that space in front of the net. And the Galahs get one with about 4 minutes to go in the game. That wipes one of the penalties, but not both of them. So they'll still have a penalty when they come out on the ice, but the clock hasn't stopped. So the longer they can delay this, you can see it just went through the 5 line. I think it was Dennis who finished that one off. And our referees will tell us very shortly. 2 minutes to go and 40 seconds on the second penalty. So the Quokkas still having to kill a 5-on-4 situation now.
Galahs in possession of the puck, taking it into the offensive zone.
They don't want to give another one away.
No. And just kept in by the Galahs Wilkinson. She's running it through the puck, and she just loses sight of it with a little bit of pressure from Clark there. Galahs back in possession. Goes for a shot on the net. Dodd doesn't quite make it past Watson.
Booth looked like she was celebrating a goal there. I'm not quite sure what happened, but it was going the other way. Yes! With about 2 minutes to play now, the deficit 3 goals. I think we'll see in a moment when the scoreboard comes. So yeah, 3 goals the deficit, and on the drop of the puck, the penalty will be all over, and it'll be back to 5-on-5 hockey.
And Clark just carries that out of the
that's
face-off for the Quokkas.
Hayduck gets a change. And straight away, we are back to 5-on-5 hockey with 1 minute to play, 2 goals the deficit.
And Dravo just sources that up to the boards across the ice.
Puck lost in everyone's feet. Finds Clarkson, who's looking for some room, but runs out. And there's no space there. And with just 40 seconds to play, everyone's deciding it's a good time to have a lie down.
But Clark gains possession for the Quokkas. Comes in, does a
Shot
sneaky
through
pass.
traffic, misses everything. That's Antil having another go. She's got another chance for a shot. Gets control. Nice, almost a soccer
Bit of
style.
tussle in there.
Almost heading the puck into the net.
Richards with the puck for the Quokkas. Goes in, but it gets deflected.
And it's going to be all over Red Rover with just 10 seconds now to play. And that one will wind up in the end with a 5-2 win to the iceHQ over the Galahs. So the Galahs finish the regular rounds with no wins. I'll give you the... So the iceHQs have played 4 and won 4. I tell a lie, they've played 5 and won 3. And they scored 5 goals in that one to give them 15 in total. Goals against them was 2, 10 against. So the reason I'm just checking these numbers is to see what's going to happen with the percentage for them.
Not too much differential there with the
It's
shots
not too
on
bad,
net.
but what that has done to the finishing order at the moment, just to get this all sorted out, is the Quokkas are now almost guaranteed of finishing 3rd. Now, where that's useful is it means they will almost definitely be playing against the Reds, and they have played against the Reds already, and they have they lost to them, but it was a close game earlier on, and they've got a pretty good idea of how each other plays. So that will mean they will not be playing against the Stingrays in the semi-final tomorrow morning. Instead, they will be playing almost definitely against the Red. The interesting question now is, can the Furies make their way up? If they win another game, they're in with a very slim chance of getting up into the 4v1 final. I don't think it's very likely because their goal differential is pretty poor at the moment, minus 15. But if they do win and the Gems lose, then they are in with a very slim chance, depending on the magnitude of the loss there and the win. They need to score an awful lot of goals, something like 20. But it could be done. It's not impossible. But the Stingrays will finish first, and the Reds and Quokkas will almost definitely be playing in the 2v3 final tomorrow morning, and Adelaide will almost definitely be playing the Stingrays tomorrow morning again in the 1v4 final. So we've got a couple of games left to play tonight. Next up will be the Melbourne Furies and the Adelaide Hidden Gems, and they will be playing at probably closer to 8:10 this evening. That will be game 14, the second last game of the regular rounds. That'll be the Melbourne Furies and the Adelaide Hidden Gems. They'll be joining us at around about 8:10, and we will be with you then. Until then, kill your Jets, and we will be with you